Hi, good morning. This is Andrea with LotVantage. I am creating this video to just give you a brief understanding of how to go in and create accounts. Joe thought it would be helpful if I could just give you a little tutorial. So first thing you need to do is log into LotVantage.com with your reseller credentials. And the ones that we have given you guys are Beyond Creative, all lowercase, no space, and then Beyond Creative Admin as the password. Again, lowercase, no space. Once you log in, you will see any account that we've created under your reseller account thus far. We do have a demo account, and then we had set up one this morning as well. To create a new store, go ahead and click New Dealership, this green button down in the top right or the bottom right. And I'm going to be adding in Johnny K's Power Sports. So what I like to do is actually, I have two monitors, so I'll go in and pull up their dealership on a website. I'll pull it over to a second monitor just so I can see their contact info. But basically, I'm just looking to grab their phone number and address, etc., for the store. So let me actually slide this over. I'm going to add the Cleveland branch today. So all the fields that you see me filling out are either required or just suggested. The phone number, website, this type of stuff is obviously just nice to have in hand, but also for lead routing for all the advertising that we do. Sorry, it took me a minute. I wanted to make sure I had the right address. They have 3 different locations here. Okay, so I'm pulling over 3000 Midway Mall, Elyria in Ohio. I kind of just copy and paste this all into it because it's easier. And then I go back and delete what I don't need. As long as the data gets in here the right way, it really doesn't matter how it's put in. Contact name. So I was explaining to Joe, it's nice to have the contact of the person at the store that can approve the feed request. When we get the account set up, a lot of times data providers like DealerSpike, etc., will request approval from the store for us when we go in and ask for their inventory. So if you have a contact at the store, that's great. If you don't, you can put yourself, but again, you'll probably get looped into that and it will hold up that feed request. So I'm going to see, I think I have, I'm just going to put Joe in here for right now. I'm going to pull his email. I kind of like to copy and paste everything just so I don't make a typo either. And then you guys will always be the accounts payable contact. So this is easy. We can always use Joe here. And then we do have to create a user for every account. So what you want to do, I kind of look at the dealership name primarily. If they have different locations, I might put Johnny K's Ohio, etc., or Johnny K's Elyria. Let me just see. Yeah. Oh, okay. So they're okay with that one. JOH NNYK. I make the username and the password the same just for simplicity. Now I do put sales in the name field just because it's a nice default for any of the advertisement when if it ever gets listed publicly. And then I'm going to put Joe's email down here again. The phone number is always going to link up to their actual local phone number, not an 800 number, you know, for tracking, but their actual local dealership for local listings. And then you've got export bundle, which is going to include the Facebook URL feed and Google AdWords, and then data feed so that my team knows to go in and request the feed for their inventory, and then landing page. This is just a base fundamental service we have on for everybody. So you're going to turn those three on, and then data source. So looking at their website, as I'm pulling this up here, I have, if you kind of look down the bottom, will always kind of tell us who their website provider is. And in this case, it's ARI. Now, 50 Below is actually the feed service under ARI. They own all of that inventory. So I'm going to go in and put, oh, and there's that right at the top, 50 Below here from the data source. That helps my team go in and know who they're going to go in and request that inventory from. Okay. And then click Save, Create Account and User here down at the bottom. And if there's anything missing, it's going to tell us. If not, it'll say Successfully Created. So now you'll see that Johnny K's Powersports was an account. It went in and it's now inside of your reseller. You can go in and click on the dealership name. Oh, I'm sorry. This is a little different. We want to turn on their Facebook inventory feed and we want to turn on their Google AdWords. So to adjust any of the services for any store, click on the little pencil or the edit field here. And I'm going to do that right next to Johnny K's because I want to go in and turn on exports and then click on the little pencil next to Google AdWords and then click active, yes, and then the condition is obviously if we're going to have all used or new inventory. Click save. That URL right there is the URL for Google AdWords. We're going to do the same here for their Facebook inventory feed. We're going to click the little pencil. You'll see at the top the URLs. Here's their product feed URL. Here's their vehicle feed URL, which you guys can then take and use in for their campaigns that you're managing. You can also create UTM codes to track and name the campaign, content, median, and source. Change or identify what condition of vehicles you want to pull over. And we want to make this active so that that feed is active, and then click save. Once you do that, you'll see that that was enabled on today, right, on the 27th, and there'll be a little green check mark next to the right of those services. So now, if I click home, that will take me back. Now, they don't have any inventory in here yet, so those feeds aren't really populating anything, but once they do, those exports will be live and we'll be able to use those feeds. So I know that was a little clunky, but it should give you a little brief overview for reference.